Hi, so we're going to look at book 3 of the Lexington, Alabama series. So this is called Love, Honor, Betray by Mary Monroe. I read the first two books on Audible, so I'm not going to do a review on that because it was an Audible, and I wanted to just focus on physical books at the moment, so that including ebooks that I have with me. Maybe I will go back and go into it. And so I'm just going to give you a bit of the lay of the land. So the first book opens up with the premise that they are entering into a lavender marriage, and that is, I thought, was very interesting. I was very confused, because I saw when I was uploading this book onto Goodreads and busy updating my reading progress, that people were calling it a thriller, and I didn't get it. And so I read that book like maybe in March. This book I read in July, so last month. It's very, very fresh. But the premise of the first book, she's in a lavender marriage with this guy, and they have all sorts of like interesting, entertaining moments, and I don't want to give any spoilers. In the second book, there is a widower, and he is gay. This is post-prohibition, but this is during Jim Crow law. I always do this Crow law because I want to make them rhyme. Crow law, Alabama, and so it is very like in the South. It's very like country. It is very they eat pig's ears and things that now you wouldn't go into the shops and buy those items, but that's all they had for them. There's a lot of race relations that come out, and a lot of religion first. And in this period, being gay is against the law. And so he was in a lavender marriage. He's now a widower, and all the women want him because he got money. And so this is the time where you definitely do need to get married for those purposes, for those reasons. And there's a lot of interesting things that happen. Anyway, so this is the third book where he is now married to a woman who was a widow, and they're all connected somehow in this third book. I don't want to give any spoilers if you're wanting to read the whole series from scratch. Now, in this book, it was fascinating. I won't lie. I gave my poor friends hours-long voice notes detailing what I had uncovered. Not chapter by chapter, but it might as well have been chapter by chapter, because I couldn't believe what I was reading. And again, it keeps getting classed as a thriller, and I'm always confused. And then the thrilling moments happen, and it makes sense. But I'm always, because it's this small town, rural setting, it's very slow. There's all of this issues with, there's issues about love, honoring your marriage, and betray being that there's obviously some secrets that they are keeping from each other, and it's a dual POV. So you're seeing from the wife, who doesn't understand why her man isn't honoring his duties as a husband, and from the husband's POV, who is just madly in love with someone else, and just has zero interest in being with a woman. And you're just wondering, where's it going to go? How's it going to end? There are a few close calls. I'm getting my heart racing. True to theme, there is a point where I am very afraid for everybody's lives. And brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, so much so that I then decided to download the next book, which I am going to review shortly after.